Hey, if you want me to like stock up the house with food or snacks and stuff for everyone while they're here.
Yeah, just throw you some cash. Okay.
I'm happy to do it.
Cool.
Or to even like cook meals while everyone's here.
Oh, really? Look at you.
Yeah, we give us barbecue. There's like a coal fire barbecue.
That's true. That's true. It'd be fun to do a Giveth barbecue. We could do that Saturday night. Saturday I'm going to lunch. We could do that tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow would be the best.
We'll do it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you on? Stream?
Let's see. Yeah, we are. We're live streaming. Boom. Love it when that works. The third time. Yep. So they were just staring at me while I was spamming the riot.
Bring on. Bring on.
Yeah. Oh, hi. How are you?
Oh, hello. You're talking to me or RJ?
I'm talking to Oh, RJ's here too. Jeez. It's a party.
I wanted to see more, but apparently that's not going to happen.
We have Kate's.
Kiki. Wow. Kiki and Bro.
Bum bum.
Why do I have no volume here?
I muted you.
You're the worst.
Yeah. It's called back.
You ready?
No. Do you hear that echo?
I like it. Echo? No. Oh.
Yeah, you should probably put your headphones on. Oh. Hey, nice shirt, Quasia.
The Green Dream Team.
We got a good meeting today. I'm glad everyone's partying.
Good job, kids!
Hello?
Hello. Oh, it's Dean! Welcome to the party, Dean. You came for an exciting one. So just so you know, for the first governance meeting, you can't actually participate directly. You can check in and check out, but then you just have to observe the governance meeting in all its glory passively.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then you'll figure it out the next round. But you will check in and check out.
Any chance you throw up notes?
If you want to be in the meeting.
Yeah, it looks like Quasia or Kai threw it up.
Oh, nice.
They're in the governance riot. Well, I think we could start with what did you guys do this week? Does anyone want to kick it off?
I can go. This week, I was on. Are we getting an echo?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This week, I posted some articles that needed final review. The What's Happening version 1 is out on Medium. I posted on Reddit, Scaling Now transcript with a bunch of links. I created some milestones. My first milestone in the DApp, as complex as that was, it's been done. And then reviewing other milestones that I was assigned. Branding and posting the Neosis wallet creation video. Thank you to Dean for that. More milestone reviews. I attended the social coding meeting. I had lots of talks with Quasia about social coding. The amazing fun things they're doing in there and what fun, interesting things are going to be happening in the future. I went to the DApp meeting. That's where I got the information for what's happening. I went to the comms meeting and then had a meeting with Chris afterwards about what needs to be done and what is being done. I did more milestone reviewing and updating. I set up the DApp node Twitter, and I also learned all about DApp node, which is amazing decentralization of the future. And then as of today, I was writing DApp, what's happening V2 for last week's update, or yesterday's update. And I pass it to RJ.
Yeah, so this week I was just starting on kind of the bridge solution and got a good chunk of that busted out. So yeah, that's what I spent my time doing. Griff.
RJ does so much more than that. He understates it. So I went to Greece for no good reason. I registered a bunch of DApp names, also for no good reasons. DApp names, ENS names. Working with Lorelei to get her involved in Giveth. She's doing a great job with some conflict resolution stuff, and depending on how these proposals go, might also just kind of work on hunting people down. And she's pretty cool. How to try it. The Airbnb for France canceled, so I had to book a couple other hotels so that people have places to sleep in France, or in Toronto. And then chasing down Sonia. I think I got her locked down for tomorrow, so I'm hoping to get her to give me all those bills for the apartment so we can finally do the budget on migrating stuff. And also, we have a couple options for our Barcelona event, Airbnb, so that's cool. Did a bunch of Burning Man stuff. Starting to work on a Nest grant for liquid pledging, the Aragon app, to make that a full-blown thing and actually get some donations for Giveth out of it too, and maybe even pay for people's time that can contribute to it. And then dealing with all the payment stuff that this meeting is going to talk a lot about. There was a couple of people there. Some people reached out for audits, and I found people to give audits with. I talked with RJ about the bridge stuff and liquid pledging, and we have an open source block explorer meeting happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Barcelona time. We have a lot of DApp node action, and so I spent a lot of time last week hanging out with the DApp node guys, talking with Peter, getting the milestones set. There's a lot of fun stuff and coordination going on with DApp node, getting all the money stuff situated, all that stuff. And then, let's see, chasing down EdCon. I send them a couple of emails. And we have just like organizing Barcelona, who's coming, who's not, kind of thing, and made a bunch of issues in the DApp. Been making issues almost every day, and we pushed the multi-sig blog post with Deem, which was really cool, and he made a bunch of cool videos. We did the April Fools. We did a Giveth ICO, which was awesome. It was pretty cool. That was fun. I was so glad Giveth can get that ICO out of our system. And then I tweeted a lot, and I think I got a hold of Omestego, but they still aren't responding. So anyway, that was my week. So let's go to Kai. Kai? Oh. Oh, we can't hear you, Kai. You went back to mute.
I know, I have so many to open. The reason is that the title of the stream is wrong. It's governance meeting number 28, and I tried to fix it. So what have I done this week? You should be able to actually see me. Cool. Yeah, some small maintenance stuff on the wiki. I made and deployed a leaderboard for the Giveth donation address. It's deployed under leaderboard.giveth.io. Also fixed the gas calculation for that. so it works now. I implemented Etherglade, the little plugin that we used on Full Token on the donation page. Just pushed this before the meeting, so I don't think anybody's seen yet. I made some small fixes to the main application, very small visual fixes, but bugging me forever. I will look into some other issues for the Open Graph later this week and maybe do some on the Wall of Fame in the coming days. Let's see. I just arrived very late, so I don't know who spoke and who hasn't. So somebody just volunteer, please.
I've not gone yet.
Please go.
Go for it. Obviously, I've just been doing the YouTube stuff, and I've just got on the transparency YouTube, so I'll optimize that probably this week. But just doing YouTube things, basically. There's not much to say about that. I'll pass it over to... Is Lorelei here?
She is.
Yeah, I'll pass it over to Lorelei. She's...
Hey, Lorelei.
Should we be able to... Oh, yeah, we can hear her.
Can you talk, Lorelei?
No, you should just text it. Currently we cannot, Lorelei.
Oh, okay.
All right, Chris, then.
Okay. So while Lorelei fixes that, so what did I work on? So I added the existing what is Giveth, the Giveth DApp post to make it a little bit more accurate. Added Griff's video there as well. I reviewed what's happening, published and tweeted it, etc. I synced with Griff and Dean for the social coding text, but haven't tweeted it yet. Unfortunately, apologies, coming tomorrow. Scaling Now 4 with Clio, reviewed that, posted, etc. For the team video, we worked on the sound and then worked with Kate on end screen. Bowen was working on subtitling for this, so that one. There was now a syncing issue for sound, so that might not go out this week, unfortunately, but I hope we'll still get it today for tomorrow or something. Then I attended the DApp team meeting and the discussion on payment, etc. Participated in that. Then we had a very long comms team meeting where we also reassigned some of Cleo's tasks. She will be less present. Then I had a call with Lansky on lots of the to-dos for him, such as business cards, joint page, etc. I had a call with Clio on what's still open and the debrief with her on the Giveth Galaxy article. She still is going to write based on my presentation and the one that Griff gave. I had a call with Valeria on the DApp. No, what did I say on the DApp? Yeah, also on the DApp, but especially on collaboration with Blockchain for Social Good. I explained everything that we did. So Lumio proposal is there. A very good and fruitful discussion with Yealer, as he mentioned, giving him also a lot of background on Giveth and lots of other stuff. There was time to catch up. Talk with Griff on governance solutions for payments coming up as well. Then yeah, the shitcoin tweeting, so our April's Fool thingy, following up a bit on that. Then I also helped Enlil again to get paid in cash for his reward now. This finally, after again going to different payment options, this succeeded. He has his cash. I created all of my milestones, or they're ready to be created now. I created a number of Lumio discussions and participated in the rest. And then there's just a regular follow-up on social, and that's all for me. And I give it back to Lorelei if she's working, if it works now. No, it doesn't work for Lorelei.
No, it's looking like she's not able to make it happen.
Quasia?
So main focus for me was converting the payment program over from being a command line tool with options and everything to just a service that we can run once a week and making it so that it auto-populates the sheets and sends the test transactions and everything automatically. I also talked to Yaler a little bit about trying to take over more of the comms stuff for social coding, and tried to sort of get people to start independently dishing points. That's basically it. I'll pass to Dapline.
How about now? Yeah, great. With my phone, it works now. Fuck my computer. Yeah, so this week has been 100% focused on the VPN, and today we have made good progress with Alex. We have figured out which settings we want to use, which product we want to use, and we figured out some ways to add the users right now. So it's looking good. It's one of the most crucial parts of that node, because it involves security and everything. So I think it's looking good. We'll still need some expert advice on some crazy ideas and things that we are trying, but I'm very happy with how it's turning out. So hopefully not too soon, I guess for next week we can have it ready. And I pass it to, I don't know how to see names, so Griff, or you have gone already? Sasha?
Yeah, I haven't gone. Hi, everybody. I've been today on the milestone contract, and I'm finally, I think it's kind of done, but now I need to write all the tests, and I will do that tomorrow, and I hope to finish that tomorrow so that next week RJ can have a final look, and then hopefully we can have that ready as well. So that's what I've been doing, and I don't know who hasn't gone because I also joined late. So if you haven't gone, raise your hand.
Me.
Okay.
Okay, so this week I did some work on the DAP node, getting a good.
That sound.
Oh, can you guys hear me? Okay.
Walkie-talkie.
Your mic is so bad, Alex. Come get the headphones.
All right, I'll give it up to someone else while I get headphones.
How about Dean?
Phew.
Oh, Dean just got here. Dean,
Yeah.
you want to go?
Yeah, I can go. So yeah, I worked on the multisig blog post. So how to create a multisig wallet, and also how to verify the wallet contract. So I made a blog post and also a video on that, and then I worked on some small Wall of Fame things. It didn't show that you actually uploaded, were in state of uploading, and also I worked on just right now on some depth stuff, fixing some small issues. I don't know if some are maybe against some of the things, but I don't know. And also I worked on making this new backend, perhaps where we are trying to use site.now and also next.js. And yeah, that's it for me.
Yay! So yeah, now we can try maybe Lorelei. No. No, doesn't look like it. Let's see. Is
okay,
Alex?
Okay. Yeah, I got them all set up.
Look at that, it's beautiful.
Thanks. So this week I was working on the DAP node, and I looked into putting it onto an open source hardware architecture and what it would take to do that. I also looked up a bunch of information about the VPN and have been working on that. I think that's it. I don't know. There's been lots of stuff I'd just forget always. All right. So now I guess I'll try and pass it to Lorelei again. Maybe it works.
Lorelei's out.
Lorelai has two faces, but neither one is audible. One's muted though. That's a good sign. You know, maybe I can unmute. No, I can't unmute. So let's see. Who else hasn't gone?
Gone yet?
Who?
Lindsay.
Oh yeah, Linz.
Hi, I'm back. Just got back to Barcelona. I've been working on milestones, finishing up Reward DAO 14, doing some catch-up milestones and other organizational and back-end stuff, really. Burning Man stuff, and then just traveling quite a bit. So good to be back and back on track. So does that wrap it up?
I don't know. There's so many people, and some people don't have their names in, so I don't know if they've gone. Fellow Jitzers.
How about RJ?
RJ went.
Oh.
Kind of.
Wojtek isn't here?
No Wojtek. Okay, I guess that's everyone then. So now we can actually start the meeting. So let's just do a quick check-in. Basically, everyone checks in, but for some of you, it's your first meeting, so you'll be toggled off, but you still participate in check-in. This meeting I'll do some logistics really quick. We have a lot of people going on, and we have one short proposal and one long proposal. I strongly recommend, if you don't have much to say, make it quick and pass it around. And we're going to try to do the 3 proposals in one that are all on the same payment idea, because it's the same concept, to try to speed it up. But there's a lot of people here, so don't be afraid to be like RJ and be concise. Okay, so let's do check-in. First, distractions. I'm not too distracted, other than I have to play the mute game when other people talk. And then intentions, to make a fun, quick meeting that everyone is happy and enjoys, and to be a good facilitator. And I'm obviously toggled on. How about Linz?
No distractions. I'm up in the room, nice and quiet and private, and I'm here to find where I can my kind of UI experience with the DApp and with milestones and all that. So why don't we go to Kai?
Yeah, so I'm just distracted by writing the notes. If anybody else wants to help with writing the notes, I don't want to get stuck with it just because I have the obligation to put it on the wiki. Yeah, so everybody welcome who wants to help with that. Otherwise, I hope we can keep it short, concise with everybody. So many people here. So yeah, don't forget to be toggled off if you are new. I don't know who is exactly new to this one meeting. Hope to find a solution for our problems because they seem to be pressing for some. And I give it to Lorelai once again if it works.
Lorelai is officially toggled off.
Really, yes.
Well, wait, I see. Is that Andreas there? Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, dude. Unmute and check in.
Oops, we can't hear you.
No, more microphone issues. Okay, we'll come back to you, man. How about Daft Lion? Oh.
Got it. Problem solved.
So on my end, no distractions, and that's it. And now I pass it to Sarja.
No distractions. Looking forward to the meeting, I guess. I'll pass it on to who hasn't gone. RJ, did you go?
No distractions. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to this meeting or not. We'll see how it goes. Arthur?
Yeah, same. No distractions. I'm hoping that we put a stake in this payments thing. If that happens, I'll be happy with the meeting. I will pass it on to MX Alex.
No distractions. I'm looking forward to listening to both sides, and that's it. He toggled on to Chris.
Yeah, no distractions. And yeah, looking forward to a constructive meeting. Give it another try, maybe to Andreas. Still not working, or maybe?
Nope. No dice.
You get unmuted, Andreas, but your sound just doesn't come through. Okay, then Kate.
No distractions, except I might need to leave it around 6 p.m. GMT. I'll pass it to Linz because she's on my screen.
I think I already went, so feel free to pass it off.
How about Yaler?
Yay! I'm here, no distractions. I'm ready to get through this payment thing together. What? And let's go.
Next is Deem.
Deem.
Yeah.
Let's go,
no
Dean.
distractions. And yeah, I'll just be toggled off. So yeah. Who's next? I don't know.
Did anyone else need to go? Okay. Andreas is using a bad laptop again. I guess that's his. He's very distracted.
Who is helping with the notes? I did not get that part.
Quasia is taking them.
So I don't have access.
Griff sent a link.
Yeah.
I clicked in the chat.
The link doesn't work? It works for me.
No, it's not working for me. So as soon as I can access the notes, then I will type them.
I can share them personally with you, but they should be shared with the link. So
yeah, that's right.
I'll try and jump in there.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get this party started. The first one is a softball. There was Chris. So there's two main agenda items. The first one is joining the coalition. The second one is dealing with payments. So let's start with the coalition. Chris, you want to kick it off?
Yep. Lumio has been acting up all day. I don't know if you guys noticed, so I cannot launch it it's just loading all the time, or maybe it's my laptop. But I'll try to just say it by heart. If you want to know the details, just check out the Lumia proposal. So the idea is Blockchain for Social Impact is a coalition that has been launched by consensus. They're paying for it, for everything that happens. And so a number of start over. Tension is that we have to work on being visible in this space, and there is still room for opportunity, so that we work on the visibility for Giveth. And the proposal is to join the Blockchain for Social Impact coalition. So I met them in London when I presented there, and I had a call with Valeria, who is like head of blah blah blah, and it was really interesting. She gave all the advantages that we get. First of all, it's being that we have our logo and our link on the website, etc., but also that we can attend various meetings. We get tickets, if I understood correctly, for free to some of their events, one in New York, the other one in the UK, I think. And they connect us with other people that are working in the same space. We can use their resources. Sometimes also they're going to open a sort of WeWork, a sort of a co-working space in London that we would be able to use. And so I asked what they wanted in return. And as far as I understood, they just would like us to be part of this coalition and to collaborate and be open source the way that we are right now. So it's about a sharing of and caring thing. And to me, it's a nice win for us. So we have Alice on there right now. We have Slave Free Trade, who have a slightly less positive experience apparently with them. So that's why we need to be a little bit cautious. We have Give directly, as far as I remember, but I haven't checked right now. So the feedback I already got was that I could maybe check with Alice. I talked with the Alice people over there, and they didn't whisper in my ear that I should stay away. But I can have another call if necessary. So, proposal to join the Blockchain for Social Impact Coalition, long explanation. Any clarifications?
Was that call or the when did you talk to Alice now, or was it some weeks ago?
I talked to Alice in London, so that was last Monday when I saw them.
So it was before the call with.
It was a little bit before the call, yeah.
Okay.
Any other clarifying questions? Okay, how about reaction round? I can start. I think that for the most part, I agree. I think we should be a part of it, but because I've heard so many bad things about it, and like the general thing with consensus is the rumor on the street is that they try to steal people's devs and steal their ideas and take them as their own and then do their own closed source stuff with it. So I'm a little cautious. But that being said, I think if we can get some positive recommendations, it's not a bad idea. So we just have to be cautious and, you know, not invite them in too deep, and then probably won't have a problem. But yeah, I would like to see somebody who's in the coalition tell us, Giveth, you guys got to get in here. This is great. Some positive recommendations. Let's go with Linz. Linz is frozen, so let's go with, oh, hey, Alon. Let's go with Alon.
He just came, right?
Yeah, okay, fine. Not Alon either. How about Edu?
Hey, I agree with you, Riff, and I would like to hear a positive recommendation first. But the idea seems good, but yeah, I would like to hear some other opinion about that. What about Arthur?
Yeah, I think we should just be cautious. I don't have a strong feeling either way. I'll pass it on to Fiala.
I saw this and it looked like a good opportunity. I think visibility is important, but once again, dev stealing things is sketch. So caution, but I would say proceed. I pass it on to Kai.
So still nobody helping with the notes, but yeah, so proceed with caution. Okay. So I would say I have met some people from Consensus, and it's for me it's always I don't know, it's very mixed bag. Sometimes there are people, I don't know, they just say, oh, from Consensus, okay, and that's it. I don't know, that there's not really much to go on this. I don't know, there are some people there. What I'm trying to say, some teams carry many people around. Consensus is one of those. So you will meet all kinds of people. I also met other people like my friend Posby or yeah, which I can remember. And also I like the Bounty Network guys we hang around with at DEF CON. So there's definitely projects I like. Isn't MetaMask a part of Consensus? So part of Consensus I like. I did not like some things. I spoke to Yelda about it some weeks ago. That yes, they tried to kind of isolate people around projects and try to get them in. I don't know. I would also say I agree, and let's proceed with caution, because there seems to be this thing with money and power, and you know, they can promise a lot of money for individual people. I don't know, but I don't know if it comes to that. So I would just say it doesn't hurt. Let's talk with Alice. I would also like to hear what they have to say. Satya, what do you think?
Yeah, so we always say first of all we're open source, so I think anybody can steal all our stuff and do whatever they want with it. And we always say that we don't mind if other people like do the same things as we do. So in that perspective, I think it's a great opportunity. It gets us a lot of exposure. So I say we should totally do it. RJ.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion. It sounds good, but I think, yeah, just talking to a couple other members would be a good idea. Chris? Oh, you did this. Caitlin?
Yeah, I'd pretty much agree to proceed with caution, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense. We kind of integrate quite well. I'll pass it to who's not gone.
Quasia, actually.
Quasia.
No, he went.
I haven't gone.
Quasia, not Casia.
Linz.
Not Kai, Quasia.
Yeah, he went. He said proceed with caution.
Oh,
I read
sorry.
the notes. I know.
Oh,
All right. I feel like we're all on the same page with proceed with caution, and that exposure is good for the long term at the moment and building relationships. So I agree with proceed with caution. And
Alex.
yeah, Alex.
Okay. I really don't have anything to add because I don't have much knowledge of either, so I'll pass it on.
Dap Lion.
Yeah, same over here. Proceed with caution. I think it's a good opportunity, but let's hear recommendations. And I pass it on to who hasn't gone.
I think that's everyone for this one. So let's just go to Chris.
Okay, so amended proposal. So I see like the main feedback was proceed with caution, but what I propose is, unless any objections now, is that, surprise, we proceed with caution, but before that I give the okay, I'm gonna ask her in a mail, like, what does she expect of us? Just to be sure. And I'm also gonna talk to Raphael from Alice, because I have to write him back for something anyways. And Griff, if you want an extra opinion, so I'm checking the page. So MakerDAO is on there as well, and so is Salt, and because they're on our own page, I guess, you know, the Salt people as well. So if you want to also talk to one of these, just let me know, and then we can check back and sync on this. But I'll check definitely with Alice before I proceed with caution. So that the proposal is proceed with caution, but check with someone we know, at least one person. So that's a proposal. Any objections?
I know it's not an objection, but I know it looks like Andreas is calling in, and I know he's actually applying as well. Do you maybe just give him a quick forum? If Andreas, can you speak?
I think I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, finally. So, yes. So we have so just a quick introduction because I didn't speak earlier. We are running a very, very small grassroots, 100% voluntary charity, and anything is better than nothing for us. So I'm trying to expose this grassroots movement to as many organizations, groups, and teams as possible. That said, I have been to pretty significant events, maybe a couple of them, not many. One of them was the UN Women Hackathon last year, where Consensus were organizing. I haven't got the best events, but then again, it's me on the humanitarian side rather than the technical and business side, if you like. As a group, you need to be part of as many things as possible that will enhance knowledge of Giveth. And who knows, I've spoken to a couple of people at work and they would like to offer some development help if they can. So it's definitely not something to be very open about, but yeah, caution is definitely the way forward. And good to chat to you. Sorry, this is the first time I'm joining, and I know about Giveth since May last year.
No, it's okay. And you're supposed to be toggled off, so you'll miss this last one. But since you were applying, I figured it was pertinent. So Krish's proposal was to proceed with caution and get Alice, but first get Alice's opinion and maybe reach out to a couple other people. Is there any objections? I didn't think so.
I don't have an objection. I just want to say something, because if you talk to her, it would be nice if she talks to us, just if she comes here and maybe just talks to us. I would like to hear from somebody from Consensus talking to the DAC in general. That's what the only thing I'm saying.
I'll invite her to the meeting.
It's usually,
I can do that.
Or like just even the chat.
Yeah.
Like a group chat or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any objections? Okay, cool. I would say proposal passed, potential amendment. Chris is in it. It's already 6:40, so I want to get into this one because it's going to take a while. Chris actually made a really nice summary. I think you can see in the governance chat the links to all the different proposals. There are 3 different proposals that are out there right now. This is not including the one that we talked about last week, which was already discussed, but it is there, such as cool insurance idea. And then, but we have 3 new ideas. And so I think what we'll do is we'll do a few, like an individual presentation from each person that has a proposal. And I advise you guys to, if you haven't been seeing this or you haven't really been looking about what's going on, just like pass it along quickly. Say your piece, but like, let's move it. Okay, so how about RJ can start with his proposal?
Yeah, my proposal was to go into like how holacracy is supposed to be, and right now we're running all the payments and everything through one. We're relying kind of on the governance circle to do it, but holacracy is supposed to, like our whole process of breaking down the budget and stuff a few months back was to leave it up to the individual circles to decide how they want to move to operate. And budget is allocated on an individual circle, so it makes sense to me to do that. And then it was basically to abandon this triple check and everything and make it, put the responsibility on the circles themselves to rely on payments. So, or like to make sure payments are correct and the milestones that they're paying out are correct. And so each circle would, let's just say, create a milestone, but then every week they would just create their own multi-sig transaction for what should be paid. And then it's their responsibility to pay on time instead of, I think smaller groups is easier to pay in a reasonable time frame than larger groups. And it's only their own fault if they don't get paid in an acceptable time period for them. Yeah, that was the gist of my proposal. I could find the Lumia.
Okay. And then Sacha, you have a proposal?
Yeah, so I had the proposal from last week. I don't know if we should repeat that. No? Okay, so then I have, so the new proposal is that we pay according to budget. And so the thing is that I remember very well that in December we decided all together what is the budget. And I remember Wojtek asking me and RJ and himself and Chris having discussion like, hey, we decided we want to hire people like, regulars. And so we had discussion with all of us, the regulars, like, hey, how much do you want to earn? Because basically we all have options somewhere else, but we all love Giveth as well. So it's like give and take, right? And we all decided, okay, yeah, we're not here for the money. We're here to make Giveth good. So we all set like an acceptable budget that was that we can live with and that we feel good about, and on the other hand, we want to spend time on Giveth. And so this whole discussion started that we pay way too late, right? That's the part of the. So we have this agreed budget, which is, as far as I understand, it's in euros or dollars. There's a whole sheet there, with also the circle budget. The budget is per person, for each role, and so. Yeah, I see that as the agreement that we all made together. It's the budget agreement that we live by. And then what happened is that the payments didn't come through, so they were late. And once they finally did come through, then the paid out amount, of course, the ether stayed the same, but translated to the budget that we agreed upon, that amount is like about 60 or 70% lower than what we agreed on. And that is not, at least not what I signed up for. And so there's a lot of like talk on Lumio about this, different angles, but one quick way to fix it would be just let people file compensation milestones for that we pay according to budget. It's super simple. We could have done it last week. Everything would be solved. And meanwhile, we try to find like a more permanent solution. I think RJ's, well, I shouldn't give comments to other proposals now. So that's basically so the proposal is to let people file compensation milestones so that we pay according to budget, to the agreement.
Okay. And so my proposal, and I think since everyone is talking, what we'll do is we'll have everyone, Satya and RJ and I can give reactions to the other proposals later. So my proposal is that we basically try to stick with what we have and not create too much new for the time being, that we focus on pushing things as fast as possible by onboarding Bowen and Lorelei to actually start checking the milestones. Or like Lorelai's job would be basically if someone has a reviewer that's being slow or a campaign manager that's being slow and not accepting the milestones. This is one of the major slow steps. She would be the conflict resolution person. So she would actually make sure if they can't get it done fast between each other, because it's always the person who proposed the milestones. It's their primary job to push it forward. And Lorelei would be a backup, right? And then Bowen would be a backup for Lorelei. And Bowen, but his primary job would be to double check the triple checks and make sure that people are making milestones that not only are correct, but also are a high quality, because one of the things that I think slows us down a lot often is that some of these milestones aren't meeting a high quality standard when they're actually approved and proposed. And so because of that, also I would like to propose a few changes to the DApp so that we can enable edits and do a couple of tricks to make things move faster and at least prioritize them, these changes to the DApp, so that we can make a few small incremental steps towards getting faster, but at the same time, it is still going to take like minimum 3 or 4 days to go from a proposed milestone to an actual milestone payment. So it's not like an instant solution. And I, of course, have to repeat for the millionth time that I've always been open to front people Ether so that they can use Ether and speculate on the Ether as their desire, as long as they make the milestone. And so I would want to keep that option open for people. So yeah, in short, my proposal is get Lorelei and Bowen on pushing everything faster, make a few changes to the DApp, which are outlined in the Lumio proposal that can give more edit access and not be such sticklers for what we want in the final design for while we're still alpha testing it, so that we can make some changes in milestones easier, and then just keep going forward and focus on building the dApp the way we want the dApp to work. Okay, so those are the 3 proposals. Please try to comment on all 3 and state what you think are good. And if you have a 4th proposal, just don't be afraid to throw it out.
Hey, Griff, is it an idea to have all 3 of you say in one sentence tension proposal one more time? Then we can then we can react very precisely.
Okay. Tension. Proposals are slow, and we need to make them faster. Proposal. Bowen, Lorelei, start making moves to help people move milestones faster, and we make a few small changes to the dApp, which are discussed in the proposal. How about RJ?
Well, I think we all have the same tension. The proposal is to move the burden of responsibility onto the circles themselves, individual circles, and make them responsible for payouts instead of Giveth as a whole, or I guess kind of the governance circle. And the quality of the milestones is based off of the circles decides that, because it's their campaign that will reflect in the future for good or bad. They're spewing garbage out right here. Sorry. It's their future donations that may be affected if they have bad milestones. Gotcha.
Yeah, so basically we pay according to the budget specified in fiat in the sheet. And if we don't pay out that amount, then you're eligible, whatever. You can file compensation milestones. That's it.
Okay, how about we have Chris, or sorry, other clarifying questions? Oh man, I'm so glad there weren't.
I have one clarifying question.
Yeah.
What's to prevent people from gaming the system in that you could just not collect milestones, understanding that if you collect them, if it goes up, you're gaining, and you're not exposed to the risk of volatility over that span of time. So I could just strategize and say, I'm going to wait 3 months to collect all of my milestones, collect money if the market tanks based on insurance, and then capitalize on gains if it doesn't.
I think that's directed to Satya.
I don't get the point. I mean, if you claim your milestone later, and the ether went up, then that's what doesn't matter. I don't see the point. I don't see the issue.
The issue is that it allows you to speculate on the market without risk. Because if I'm consistently using a strategy that where I take my payouts late, during the span of time that happens, I'm not exposed to any of the risk of volatility. I'm only exposed to potential gains.
Aren't the payouts according to which circle pays out, not when you file the milestones?
Satya, these are yours.
Oh, is that a question for me? I wasn't clear.
Oh.
Let's stick with Quasia's first, and then the other can repeat his.
Yeah. So, I don't. But now we send the money, right? You don't wait for claiming the money.
Here, let me. So Quasia says, "What if I decide to just wait 3 months to make any of my proposals?" And ether goes up in value, then I win. If ether goes down in value, well, then I just get more ether. And so the incentive is to never claim your proposals, because then you can just get extra money. You have no downside risk, and maybe you'll end up making money off the ether.
But you mean milestones or proposals? You mean milestones,
creating
right?
milestones.
So creating milestones, but the milestones have a date. You have to file them on a date. You cannot file all your milestones on a single date, right?
Yes. So, but let's say that I have a milestone this week. Ether's worth 100. Next week, Ether's worth 200. Next week, Ether's worth 300. Right. My first one will now be 3 times. I'll get 3 times as much Ether on this day, right? And I'll end up making a lot of money there because if I don't claim any of them until the same time. And then if I have, if it goes the other direction, goes from 300 to 200 to 100, then I'll still end up making the right amount. So basically, I was able to speculate upward direction and no risk because of this setup. I'm sorry that didn't explain it very well. But
yeah, it's just a basic property of markets. If you have the potential to gain off of speculation on the market, you need to be exposed to risk. Otherwise, it's not fair. Like, what's the balance?
I still don't see how I would accomplish this because I'm finding a milestone, say for last week, and it has the date of last week, and then by the time we pay out, it might be like 1 month later. How can I speculate on this? It's like the amount in the milestone is fixed. It's like I file a milestone for 1 Ether for 1st of April.
This is I don't want to push the meeting on longer than we have to. This isn't very important.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Any other clarifying questions? Okay, reaction round. Chris, can you start?
Sure. I'll keep it short. I'll try to. I already reacted very long in the Lumios, so you know my opinion. So first proposal, move the burden on the circles, make them pay out, the one that RJ said. So I would propose not to do this because for me this is really a task of the governance circle, and even in the future, as long also when you are like in control of your own budget, then I would still, whenever there's administration to be done, to me this remains a task of the governance circle, for example, for the reward DAO payouts and so on, because this is administration and that's what's described in the role of the governance circle. So if they are not doing a good job, then that needs to be rectified, and I think that's happening with Griff's proposal now. So if you would move everything to your own circle, what will happen then is then you will fork off and then you will actually centralize again, and that is not decentralization. What we're trying to do now is decentralization. So that's reaction to that proposal. Second proposal, such as one, so to file compensations for the milestones. I understand why, and it was not okay that payouts took so long. But as discussed, I think we agreed on what the governance circle was going to do. No timing was set, no people were assigned, and that was the big issue to me. Yeah, no, I'm not okay with filing compensations because that would deplete us from ETH as ETH is low anyway, so I wouldn't do that. Third proposal, the one by Griff, yeah, well, as I discussed it with Griff, also to do this like this, I agree. So I think it's like assigning people is crucial in this one and can help a lot. And so yes, I definitely support this. I think this should have been done a long time ago, but it's good that we did this now. So yes, that's my feedback, and I pass it on to Yealer.
Okay, I will go Griff's proposal first.